Matchday 21 and the Bundesliga is in carnival mood. Marco Reus stays loyal to Dortmund. Bas Dost is in superb form for Wolfsburg. And Pep Guardiola's Bayern are still looking to head top form this year. Second place Wolfsburg visit Leverkusen, hoping to stay on Bayern's tail. It's a return to his former club for Wolfsburg's new signing, World Cup winner André Schürrle. Local boy Marco Reus has extended his contract with Dortmund to 2019. Inspiration, perhaps, for the vital encounter with a Mainz side that has also been struggling. In the 1980s, Bayern v Hamburg was the clash of the titans. These days, it's more of a Goliath v David affair. Can off-colour Bayern bounce back to form for the first time in 2015? Thrills and skills in the League of the World Champions.
It's carnival time in the Rhineland and two bitter rivals facing off on Carnival Saturday. Borussia Mönchengladbach fifth in the table with 33 points up against Köln. Their neighbours 11th in the table with 24 points, but the second best away team in the league. Lucien Favre, Gladbach's coach, knowing that that is a very dangerous thing to have, a team with such a good away record. Straight into the game though, Mönchengladbach on the attack. Max Kruse over with that effort. Not too far away from Timo Horn's goal. First chance of the game after 15 minutes for Köln. And as usual, it's Anthony Ujah involved. Not afraid to try his luck from distance. Köln have won just one of their last 14 Bundesliga games on carnival weekends. But a victory away at Gladbach would really smarten up their season. Half an hour or so just in the bag. The ball laid off by Raphael Kramer. Julian Korb has a little look, and the deflection from Matthias Lehmann very nearly causing his goalkeeper a problem. Matthias Lehmann in his 100th appearance in the German top flight. Gladbach with most of the play in the first half. Alvaro Dominguez setting up the shot for Patrick Herrmann. Clearance in the end by Kevin Vogt. Köln under some pressure. Gladbach have won 9 of their last 14 home games. Just before the break, that effort from Marcel Risser forcing a save from Jan Sommer. Marcel Risser, born and bred in Cologne. How badly would he love to score against his arch rivals? So, plenty of carnival costumes to be seen at half-time. The score still 0-0. Köln are the 0-0 draw experts. They drew against Gladbach 0-0 in the first half of the season. They even drew their last couple of games 0-0. Lucien Favre has won 5 of his 6 Bundesliga games against Köln. Peter Stöger hoping that that run would come to an end. Bright starts from Gladbach, but Timo Horn, a very tough nut to crack. Kruse. And then the long-distance effort from Granit Xhaka just before the hour mark. Timo Horn certainly earning his bread and butter in this game. Another chance for Gladbach. The ball up into the air from Pechko. Patrick Herrmann's shot cleared by Timo Horn. And the Köln goalkeeper under no end of pressure. And it had to come. 90 minutes on the clock. Hazard's free kick. And the header from Granit Xhaka. 1-0 is second of the season. It's something special to score in the derby. And his international team colleague Jan Sommer in the Gladbach goal, absolutely delighted. There's a little bit of grass surfing. Gladbach stealing all all 3 points at the end of the game. They're a hard team to beat when they're away from home, but Gladbach did it. A 0-0.
The Baden-Württemberg derby at the Wirsol Rhein-Neckar Arena as Hoffenheim in 7th place took on a VfB Stuttgart side bottom of the table and having not scored since Florian Klein netted against Hamburg back on the 16th of December. There had been 15 goals in the last 3 meetings between the two sides, however, so hopes were high that the deadlock would be broken. It wasn't the best game in terms of quality. A poor pass by Moritz Leitner leading to the game's opening chance after 16 minutes. Kevin Volland striking a little too high. Hoop Stevens not happy with the way his side gave the chance away, particularly considering they're unbeaten away from home under him. Stuttgart had a response just 5 minutes later, 21 minutes gone, when Florian Klein struck high and wide. A well-worked free kick, though, and a positive sign for the visitors to come on from. The game was punctuated by free kicks and fouls, so it was no surprise when the opener came from a set-piece. The delivery from Pirmin Schwegler eventually falling to Roberto Firmino, who showed fantastic technique to net his 6th goal of the season. Marcus Gisdol relieved to see his side go in front, and Firmino showing all the kind of predatory instinct that earned him a call-up to the Brazilian national team last year. But Stuttgart hit back relatively quickly, 39 minutes gone, and a poor header away by Shiplock, allowing Gotoku Sakai to fire in at the second attempt. The Japanese international with his first ever goal in the Bundesliga after 84 appearances. And it was Stuttgart's first goal in 448 minutes of top-flight football. Sakai, somewhat fortuitous with the deflection off of Ermin Bicacic. That's the way it was at half-time, 1 apiece. And the Stuttgart fans in good voice for the derby. It was their side who had the majority of the possession in the immediate period following the break, but it was Hoffenheim who were the better side, and they were the next to threaten shortly before the hour. The strike from Firmino, really well saved by Sven Ulreich in the Stuttgart goal. Positive signs for Marcus Gisdol, the Hoffenheim coach. His side had lost all of their games so far in 2015, heading into this one. Again, they went close on 75 minutes. The cross coming in from Firmino, and substitute Anthony Modeste seeing his shot saved again by Ulreich. 8 minutes from the end, and Andreas Beck with another chance. But Georg Niedermeyer sticking out an angle to ensure that that went past the post. And at this late stage, both sets of fans doubting whether a winner would be on the way at either end. But they would be proven wrong 3 minutes into added time as Hoffenheim won the ball in midfield. Volland laying off for Sebastian Rudy to score what proved to be the winner for Hoffenheim. Rudy, against his former club, winning the ball in midfield, starting the counter. Volland laying off, and then Rudy completing the move with a fine finish through the legs of Sven Ulreich to ensure that it was the hosts who took the points. The 2-1 victory, eking Hoffenheim closer to the European places. Stuttgart's 3rd defeat of the year already, ensuring they remain rooted to the bottom.
Leverkusen against Wolfsburg. They've never won in Leverkusen, and they've had quite a few tries at doing it. But this year, Wolfsburg have got a team that are really pushing the boundaries of the Bundesliga. And one of the men who's helping them do that is Andre Schürrle. Had a great game in his first game back last time out, looking for that elusive first goal at Leverkusen. Wolfsburg knowing that a win in this game would put them 12 points clear of Leverkusen in the table. We join the game in the 3rd minute. Leverkusen on the attack. They're unbeaten in 14 home games. Kiesling slots the ball through, and the shot from Bellarabi just saved by Diogo Benaglio. Bellarabi, the top scorer for Leverkusen this season, forcing a fine save from the ex-Swiss international, showing he's still got it. And that might have just been the turning point of the game after just 3 minutes, because after that, Wolfsburg came at Leverkusen with everything they had. A fine cross from Verinya, met by Bas Dost. The big Dutchman has been involved in 5 goals in the last 4 games, but he was very involved in that one. His 6th of the season. But credit must go for the quality of the cross, and maybe a look at Papadopoulos' defending. Dieter Hecking, coach of Wolfsburg, wouldn't care though. That was a finely taken goal. Another goal just over 10 minutes later from Naldo. The big Brazilian turned German has got a great right foot, and he demonstrated how to take a free kick. Bernd Leno won't want to look at the replay of that one too often. That made it 2-0 after just 17 minutes. Leverkusen kept chipping away though. This effort from Bellarabi going wide. Roger Schmidt said that Wolfsburg can be beaten before this game. Wouldn't have thought so after 29 minutes, where once again the man De Bruyne, who's setting the Bundesliga alight at the moment, provides another assist. This time for Bas Dost, and the faintest of touches on the outside of his boot, making it 3-0 to the visitors. Leverkusen looking as if they were done and dusted at this point. The frustration showing on the face of Leno as that one goes past him. The Wolfsburg fans enjoying the game. Well worth the trip, and they nearly had 4 in the first half. Andre Schürrle hitting the post. You can see from this angle that this was not very far away at all. Holds off Spajic, and only the post denying him his first goal back in the Bundesliga. They could have had another one before the break as well, Wolfsburg. This one from Andre Schürrle once more over the bar. The last time these two teams met, Schürrle actually scored, but that was, of course, for Leverkusen. He played 65 games here for them. Now, at half-time, there was only one thing that Roger Schmidt could do, and that was a triple substitution. They needed to do something. Julian Brandt on against his old team. But it was Heung-min Son that set Leverkusen on fire in the second half. He got a goal back for them, albeit a controversial one. On 57 minutes, Bonalio pleading with Bastian Dankert, the referee. And the replay shows that it does look as if Son might have just kicked that one out of Bonalio's hands. But the goal stood, and that reinvigorated Leverkusen. 2 minutes past the hour mark, sublime touches from Heung-min Son meant that Leverkusen were only a goal behind. Son's 2nd of the game and his 7th of the campaign. Goals coming thick and fast in the second half. Bonalio well and truly beaten that time. But Wolfsburg hadn't finished either. In forward gear for a change, De Bruyne to Rodriguez, and then the hat-trick for Bas Dost, making it 4-2 to the visitors. They're unbeaten in 8 Bundesliga games. They pulled back that 2-goal advantage that they surrendered earlier. This game was end-to-end. Son proved that he still hadn't finished either. The ball breaking kindly for him after some great work from Castro. And Son's hat-trick arriving on the 67th minute. No chance for Bonalio. And Leverkusen once again were all fired up. 20 minutes to play. And it was everything but the kitchen sink going in the direction of Bonalio's goal. Drimitude come on at half-time, losing his head and his balance at the last minute. The Leverkusen fans, who looked to be staring defeat in the face, suddenly found their team back on level terms Karim Bellarabi with his 9th goal of the season, giving them that vital equaliser, and everybody wanting a touch of the ball. Dimic, Bellarabi, Castro, Burnish with big hugs for Roger Schmidt. Party time in the Leverkusen stadium. But it didn't last long. Just 10 minutes later, a second yellow card for Spajic, meaning Leverkusen reduced to 10 men for the last 10 minutes. Dost the victim of that arm on the forehead. And as so often happens, 10 men were punished right at the death. Bas Dost with his 4th goal of the game, his 9th of the season. Onside, Verinya whipping the ball in, and just the slightest of touches turning it past Leno. 3, no sir, it's 4. That's how many I've scored today. Leverkusen losing for the first time this season at home. Plenty to talk about after this thriller.
You always reckon a chance will come your way, but at 4-4 you're happy with a point, even if you are the better side. As it turned out, though, we grabbed the winner, so we're all delighted. I reckon our keeper was fouled for their first goal, but a good side should never fall apart the way we did. That tells me we've still got a lot of work to do. That really hurts, because we started the second half well. We scored early to make it 1-3 and then produced what I thought was our best performance. It was a shame we conceded the winner right at the death.
I believed in every ball, and the balls came perfect balls from my teammates. And 4 goals in a game is not normal.
Both of these teams still in European competition, but Wolfsburg all smiles. A breathtaking victory and a last-gasp winner. 5-4, the final score to Wolfsburg.
Dortmund are back. The fans' patience is rewarded. With 3 goals in Freiburg last week, but only 2 wins on the trot all season, Dortmund now welcome Mainz.
At the Weser Stadium, the home of Werder Bremen, currently 8th in the table, facing the 4th in the table, Augsburg. And almost 40,000 were in full support. That is the man who's just signed a brand new contract till 2018, Zlatko Junusovic. And here the head coach, Viktor Skripnik, who's already won 4 of his last games in the Bundesliga. We joined this match, 16 minutes played, free kick Junusovic, header Leukemia, 1-0, thank you. A picture book start into this match for Werder Bremen. An excellent free kick with Leukemia not in an offside position. And the lead was fully deserved for Werder Bremen. His 2nd goal of the first since day 1 for Leukemia. A very happy man indeed. 5 minutes later, though, the visitors had a corner to be taken here by Bobadilla. In the centre, the big Estonian with a header, nobody really guarding him there. And it was his 4th strike in his Bundesliga career. And already the 2nd of the season. Even better for the big defender. 2 back-to-back goals for Klavan. A couple of minutes after that strike, Bremen had a penalty given by the referee Christian Dingert. It was a foul by the goal scorer, Klavan, on Davy Selke. Converted by Di Santo, his 10th strike of the season. He's only played 14 games due to injury, and already 10 goals, 6 now in his last 5 appearances. Di Santo in top form, and they were really happy to have him back. He started this move as well that came in from the left, and finally arriving at the feet of Felix Kroos, Tony's younger brother. Not a bad effort here either from Kroos. That resulted in a corner kick taken by Junusovic, and there it was. 3-1. Another defender scoring, Gebre Selassie. Both of his goals have been scored in this campaign with that head. Well taken But again, the defence just a little too far away, not marking their opponents. That won't bother Viktor Skripnik. A lovely Valentine's Day Prezi. 3-1 at half-time for the home side. We joined the second period on 49 minutes. Garcia Junusovic, the Austrian international, denied by the crossbar. Well, it was all Bremen now, and on 62 minutes after the lovely work from Finn Bartels, initially headed away by Kalsenbracker, and a spectacular effort from Zlatko Junusovic. Top form, and the crowd so happy to have him here for the next 4 years. Well, Weinziel, the head coach from Augsburg, hadn't seen too much from his team up until this stage of the match. 79 minutes played, the ball came back to Werner, who hammered it home. No humour in that shot. The mistake here by Wolf, and the goalkeeper saw that one hammer into the back of the net with his 6th strike of the campaign from Werner. But too little, too late for Skripnik and Werder Bremen, though. 5 wins in a row now, and still undefeated at home, Skripnik, with Werder Bremen. As far as the visitors are concerned, the first defeat of this calendar year. 3-2 at the end of the day, Werder Bremen against Augsburg.
Round 21 of the championship pitted Dortmund in the Ruhr Industrial District against Mainz on the River Rhine. Neither club having the best of seasons this time. Marco Reus, the hero in Dortmund, and certainly after extending his contract to 2019. Jurgen Klopp, a worried look on his face, nothing uncommon these days. Dortmund third from bottom, who'd have thought it possible? They were looking for 3 points against Mainz, but got off to the worst possible start. Mainz in the white, Weidenfeller punching clear only as far as Elkin Soto, and the Colombian with a fabulous strike, his 3rd goal of the season. Mainz taking the lead with only 53 seconds on the clock. It was definitely a mistake by Roman Weidenfeller, but an absolutely magnificent goal from Elkin Soto. Dortmund were stunned, but they bounced back. A great opportunity to grab the equaliser. It fell to Marco Reus. He should have buried it. He hit the post. Kagawa bringing the best out of young Stefanos Capino. Only in goal for Mainz because Karius was given a 1-match ban after being sent off last week against Hertha. The post saving Mainz, and then Capino saving the shot from Kagawa. Reus once again, a glorious pass to Aubameyang, and what a save from Stefanos Capino, the youngest player ever to represent the Greek national side. Dortmund were fired up for this one. Raining shots on the Mainz goal, but very few of them causing Capino a problem. The tall man up to every challenge. That header coming in from Şahin. Kasper Hjulmand, the Mainz coach, hoping for 3 points. Jurgen Klopp not looking too happy these days. Could his side put a smile back on his face? Capino with yet another great save. The shot coming in the end from Kagawa. At half-time, it was still Mainz leading by a 1-0, with Japanese on both sides, plenty of Asian support in the stadium. 4 minutes into the second half, a corner from Schmelzer, buried by Neven Subotic, who early in his career played for Mainz. He left Mainz to join Dortmund for 4 million. Great header, despite pressure from Bengtsson. There was more to come from Dortmund. A glorious pass through the middle to Marco Reus. imperiously stepping round Capino to put the home side in the lead. But could they keep it? No question of offside. Wonderful footwork from Marco Reus. But it was Mainz who continued to show their character. An excellent decision by the referee to allow advantage to be played. Mali creating space for a shot and beating Weidenfeller in style. 2-2. Yunus Mali's third goal of the season. Mainz back on track. It was a fine strike from Yunus Mali. No chance for the goalkeeper. And problems again for Jurgen Klopp. He's had enough of those this season. Dortmund, though, stuck to their task. Kagawa just hooking a shot from outside the area. There was better to come, though, just 4 minutes later. An absolutely world-class pass from Reus. Aubameyang, an express wearing football clothes, sprinting through the middle, leaving the defence trailing in his wake. There's no way that anyone can keep up with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang stabbing the ball home to put Dortmund 3-2 in the lead. The crowd now, who'd given Dortmund a bit of a negative send-off after the first half, right behind the home side. 78 minutes played, Aubameyang with the free kick, Şahin banging the ball home to put Dortmund 4-2 in the lead. A side that had only scored 21 goals in 20 games, managed 4 against Mainz. It was the last bit of excitement. The home crowd absolutely delirious. In the end, Jurgen Klopp couldn't quite manage a smile, but his heart must have been beating a little more lightly. We spoke to those involved.
I had a sense of déjà vu. The opening goal was really weird, but we had to keep our cool. We came back and made it 2-1, but then we lost our structure and let them play, which we hadn't done up to then. But we bounced back in style. We'll take a lot of confidence from tonight's performance. We know there's a long way to go. A look at the table shows that. No one has ever stayed in the league with just 22 points, but we're still in the race, and that's the most important thing.
Goal number 2 and 3, and especially number 3, are just world class from Reus and Aubameyang. So you can say that goal number 1 and 4, that must not happen if we want points here, 1 and 4. And I think we did a lot of good things, but these situations were not good enough.
He's a very, very special player, and we've seen today again what he can do when he has a good day, when he's working hard for us. We're all very happy that he decided to stay here with us and to help us win many more games.
A big smile on Jurgen Klopp's face. We haven't seen that too often this season. But that 4-2 win over Mainz is just what Dortmund needed. Inspiration, perhaps, to climb back up the table.
The Olympia Stadion on a Sunday afternoon in sunshine. Hertha BSC facing Freiburg in a battle at the bottom. And Paul Dardai, the new coach who took over from Jos Luhukay, there he is, won his very first game the week before, a 2-0 away victory in Mainz. He could call on Kalou, who returned to the team as Africa Cup of Nations winner. Freiburg in the red, defending after 11 minutes. The ball from Kalou, a poor pass though into the path of Stocker, and Berkey could save the day. 14 minutes played, just 2 minutes after that chance, and Freiburg turned it on. Guédé got to the byline, the pass into the centre. Beautiful delivery there for Felix Klaus. He scored in the reverse fixture on day 4, his first goal of the season. That was the second, and he took it oh so well. Dardai not happy with the way his boys simply fell asleep. The ball boy here threw it straight back to Freiburg, thrown in so quickly. And all of a sudden, the home side were trailing 1-0. Well worked out here by Guédé, coming back into the starting lineup. Freiburg with a few worries as far as forwards are concerned. Both Mehmedi and Peterson were out injured, but it was Klaus who converted. 24 minutes, there was a free kick from Ronnie. He scored 2 goals in that 2-2 in the first fixture, both from free kicks. And the man we just saw there was Lustenberger, that had to captain in the stands. He was suspended the week before, seeing a double yellow. He too missing in this game. Berlin, though, just short of the half-hour mark, had the chance to bring their team back into the business, but it was Klaus who cleared. Christian Streit a little worried at this stage of the game, but his team still leading by 1-0. And then 35 minutes played, a free kick from Schmidt, and that was seen by Joachim Löw, the German national coach, here today, a former Freiburg player. His former team were leading 1-0 at half-time. Just a few seconds, though, into the second half, and Berlin, after some Paul Dardai pep talks, came out a different team, at least for the first few seconds. Pass from Schieber, and Kalu, with the long legs, couldn't quite get there. But there was more determination in the game from Berlin, up until the 52nd minute. Corner Schmidt, and what a diving header from Maximilian Philipp. 20 years of age, born and bred in Berlin, a former Berlin youth player, scores his very first Bundesliga goal, watched by his family. Behind the scenes here, he'd bought at least 10 cards for brother, sister, father, all the family here, seeing this glorious diving header from Maximilian Philipp. 2-0 for Freiburg after 52 minutes, and bad news for Dardai and Berlin. 4 minutes later, though, they had a chance with Schieber and Stocker. This is Stocker, saved by Berkey. The rebound to Kalu, and saved again by the Switzerland number 2, Roman Berkey. Good goalkeeper, good goalkeeping, with 2 terrific saves in the space of 2 seconds. And with 15 minutes remaining, long ball from Hegler, header from Schieber forwards, pass from Wagner into the path of Julian Schieber. Well, a lucky bounce, but that's all we have to show, really, at this stage of the game, until 4 minutes before the end of the match, when it should have been at least 1 goal for Berlin. Off the line on his Bundesliga debut, Florian Kahndt saving against Valentin Stocker. And surely Stocker should have scored at least 1 goal for Berlin. They were beaten, and Dardai too. The last win at home was mid-December, the 1-0 victory against Dortmund. Freiburg were better on the day, all 3 points. Hertha 0, Freiburg 2.
Pep Guardiola's Bayern take on Hamburg in the 100th North-South derby. Bayern haven't really hit the high spots in 2015, but this was a performance the fans will remember for years to come.
Matchday 21 drew to a close with Hanover taking on Paderborn. 2 teams without a win yet in 2015. Hanover looking to get near those Europa League places. Paderborn looking to just stay in the league. Paderborn's coach, Andre Breitenreiter, played for Hanover when he was a lad. He even got to the DFB Cup final in 1992, which they won. We joined the game in the 10th minute, and it's an attack from Hanover in the red and black. The attempt from Jimmy Briand, and Rafa in the right place at the right time for Paderborn to stop the Frenchman opening the scoring. Free kick on 22 minutes. Meha lining that one up. Robert Zieler just about keeping it under control. Hanover in their 450th home Bundesliga game. The ball hitting Joselu in the back, and a good save from Lucas Kruse in the Paderborn goal. But he was offsides when the ball hit Joselu, and it wouldn't have counted had it gone in anyway. Much to the disgust of Tayfun Korkut, Hanover's coach. As the first half wound down, Hanover, who'd had most of the play in the first half, finding themselves foiled often by Rafa. Last chance of the half, though, did go to the visitors. Once more, Meha lining up a shot from distance. Always a threat for Paderborn. skipping off the turf just in front of Zierler. Peter Stöger on the left, deep in conversation with Dieter Hecking, Wolfsburg's coach. Peter Stöger's Köln play Hanover next weekend. This game looked as if it was going to peter out into a 0-0, or at the very best, a single goal. Kiyotaki had a good run after the restart, but the ball just too far for him to bring under control. Time from Korkut, not knowing where a goal was going to come from. Paderborn thought they were about to score one as Suleiman Koç's ball seemed goal-bound, but at the last second, Albanos with a last-ditch effort keeping the ball out. Hanover have been threatening all afternoon, and then eventually the man who had so much bad luck last time out in their 2-1 loss at Hamburg, having a hand in 2 of the goals against his team, this time scoring for Hanover with his first ever Bundesliga goal, the Brazilian Marcelo. But the lead did not last long. Less than 10 minutes later, substitute Šadan Lakić with a good header across Ron Robert Zierler, making it 1-1 with his first goal back in the Bundesliga after joining in the winter from Kaiserslautern. He's played for 6 teams in the Bundesliga now, and he loves to score away from home. That one levelling it up with time to play. And then Alban Mihar, who'd been threatening all evening with a thunderbolt from the blue. Ron Robert Zierler not able to keep that one out. The Albanian international's 3rd goal of the season. Paderborn have found it very hard to hit the back of the net in 2015. But they did it on this occasion with style. 2-1 the final score. Hanover very much disappointed. They'll have to look to Köln next time out.
Frankfurt were at home at the Commerzbank Arena in front of a crowd of over 50,000 here, and they were facing the team that before match day 21 were on position number 3 in the table, Schalke. But the big news of the day was hello Thomas Schaaf, and congratulations to 500 games in the dugout as a head coach in the Bundesliga. He started his career with Werder Bremen as a manager with a 1-0 win against Schalke back in May of 1999. Well, it was Frankfurt who were piling on the pressure after just 3 minutes, and if it hadn't have been for young Timon Wellenreuter, the 19-year-old, on his 3rd Bundesliga appearance, they might have had a chance. Clever clearance with his head here. He was playing for the injured 2 top goalkeepers, Fährmann and Giefer. On quarter of an hour, Schalke had their chance as well, but Choupo-Moting was in an offside position after the shot from Höger. Trapp was there to save it, and the rebound came straight back to Choupo-Moting in an offside position. 2 minutes later, good pass from Barnetta. Fuchs, the Austrian international, went down in the area. Trapp got there first, but it was Fuchs who literally dug his left boot into the turf. No penalty, no foul, no dive. The game continued, and on 21 minutes, Trapp was involved once again. Perfect positioning from the goalkeeper. Höger a little faster than Madlung, but not getting the better of the goalkeeper. Di Matteo, the head coach from Schalke, with 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5. Into the second period, Choupo-Moting with a flick on that gave that one straight to Madlung. Alexander Madlung with a volley that just went wide of the mark. That was a big chance, and 1 minute before the half-time whistle, this could have been the glorious opportunity. It was good work between Höger and Barnetta. Höger maybe getting a little greedy at the end, saved by Trapp, and Trapp it was who kept it at 0-0 for the boss at half-time. Well, Thomas Schaaf and the boys from Frankfurt coming forward at every opportunity in the second period. An excellent run by Hasebe that was brought to an end by Benedikt Hövedes, and possibly other referees might have given a penalty there. He certainly thought so, Thomas Schaaf. There was none given, and Frankfurt, the home side, maybe a little hard done to. That was good work by Aigner. So too Stendera, who found Chandler in room. And it was there, the opening goal for the home crowd, and they went absolutely crazy. Lucas Piazon got away from his marker. The Schalke defence torn apart after this cross from Chandler, the American international. And that was a fine header indeed for his second strike of the campaign. With 9 minutes remaining, it was Frankfurt who took over. They wanted that second goal. Lucas Piazon involved with Seferovic. His shot, though, deflected by Herveders. Over the crossbar. 5 minutes were remaining, and still it was Frankfurt. Room for Seferovic to score what could have been his 8th goal of the campaign. But Wellenreuter was there. Di Matteo a little shaky maybe, knowing that this was slipping away. The last chance was a header towards goal, saved by Trapp from the young 19-year-old Felix Platter on his Bundesliga debut. And that was it. Trapp and the coach, Thomas Schaaf, all 3 points, 1-0 against Schalke once again. And they could celebrate in style. Their first victory since the last one on day 14, 1-0 against Schalke.
An old Bundesliga classic at the Allianz Arena, the 100th meeting in the top flight between FC Bayern München and Hamburger SV. Bayern have scored more goals against Hamburg than against any other side in the Bundesliga. Things started on a somber note, a minute's silence for Udo Lattek, the most successful coach in Bundesliga history. 8 titles in all, 6 of them over 2 spells with FC Bayern. Well, it started relatively tamely. The only chance of the first 20 minutes coming in the 4th. A nice exchange between Robben and Müller, who got the first decent strike of the game away. A really good save, in fact, from Jaroslav Drobny in the Hamburg goal. Müller seeking out the far corner, but Drobny managing to stretch his legs wide enough to keep the ball out. Pep Guardiola knew that his side were going to have to concentrate. They hadn't been in the best of form so far this year, but they got their breakthrough with 20 minutes gone. A gift, really, as Rafinha's cross was handled in the area by Ronnie Marcos. That gave Thomas Müller the chance to step up and give Jaroslav Drobny the eyes. He placed the ball into the other corner to break the deadlock, and it was to be the start of a torrid afternoon for Hamburg. Just 2 minutes after the opening goal, and the visitors conceded again. The strike by Thomas Müller, parried by Jaroslav Drobny, straight into the path of Mario Götze, who was the first to react and netted his first goal since the end of November last year. Joe Zinnbauer wondering how his side would recover from that. Bayern simply continued to pile on the pressure. On the counter this time, Götze getting the ball free. Müller feeding Arjen Robben. Lewandowski, Müller and Bernat were all waiting for the pass, but Robben went it alone with an absolutely outstanding finish. The Dutchman in world-class form for the German record champions. He was giving Ronnie Marcos a real run around the Hamburg left-back, and the finish was simply exquisite from Bayern's best player this season. 3-0 wasn't enough for FCB either. They remained hungry before the half was out. They created another opportunity. A pass across for Robert Lewandowski. Good control on the chest from the Polish international. The angle too tight on this occasion. Jaroslav Drobny, the third best goalkeeper in the Bundesliga heading into this one, but he conceded 3. And Joe Zinnbauer busy making notes on how his side could possibly get back into the game in the second period. As it happened, they wouldn't, as Bayern picked up where they left off after the break. Arjen Robben steaming through to score his 14th goal of the season, his second of the game. And that made it 4-0 to the home side. Again, Robben getting past Marcos all too easily. And a firm finish with his weaker right foot. Drobny will be disappointed to have been beaten at his near post, and they might well celebrate, but there was to be plenty more to come from Bayern as the game matured. Robben again ghosting past his marker, almost getting the hat-trick. It was saved by Drobny. Juan Bernat with the double follow-up. And it was blocked, and it went over the crossbar. Still, Bayern continuing to exert the pressure on 55 minutes. They would score again, and it was a wonderful finish from the edge of the box from Thomas Müller. Second of the game for him, 9th of the season all in all. A great curling strike. Müller has said that it's easier to score goals in the Bundesliga than it is in Bayern training, and it's easy to believe him in this kind of form. Bayern got their 6th on 56 minutes, just a minute later. Robert Lewandowski with his 8th of the season, and he won't get many easier finishes than that. Hamburg had come into the game with high hopes, having won each of their last 2 games, and they did manage to get the ball in the net on 63 minutes, but Artem Zrudnev's, perhaps wrongly, judged to have been in an offside position, much to the chagrin of Joe Tinbauer, the coach. Well, Bayern were thoroughly enjoying themselves, and the returning Franck Ribéry got on the score sheet with 69 minutes on the clock. Robert Lewandowski's initial attempt saved by Jaroslav Drobny. But the ball rebounding kindly for the Frenchman. Well, one man who has always fared well against Hamburg, 19 goals in his previous 23 outings against them, is Claudio Pizarro, the substitute. Had a header on target, but he couldn't beat Jaroslav Drobny on this occasion. Still, Bayern were determined to get that 8th goal and inflict Hamburg with their worst ever defeat in the Bundesliga. It came 2 minutes before the end. A wonderful strike from Mario Götze, completing his brace, his 9th of the season, making it Bayern 8, Hamburg 0. Hamburg's record defeat in Germany's top flight. Bayern, meanwhile, maintaining their 8-point lead at the top of the Bundesliga standings. Here's what the main players had to say about the game.
We played really well as a team. Our use of space was excellent. We showed a lot of movement. We closed down the opposition well. And we never made things too complicated with our passing. We noticed that our build-up was a lot more fluid than it had been in Stuttgart. We dictated matters. I can understand the fans' disappointment. We're all disappointed. But there's no point in kicking the team when it's down. When you lose 8-0, every member of the side knows what kind of performance that was, and so does everyone responsible for the side. In the first half, it's always hard for us to create space and set up chances. But it's a lot easier when you lead 3-0 at the break. We did a good job today, and we look forward to our next match.
Bayern with the perfect preparations then ahead of their Champions League tie against Shakhtar Donetsk. Hamburg with a week to ponder ahead of their next game against Gladbach.
So let us look at all the results of match day 21. Mainz's woes deepen as Dortmund leave the relegation zone. Mönchengladbach triumph in the Rhineland derby. Bottom club Stuttgart concede a stoppage time winner in Hoffenheim. Revitalised Bremen make it 5 wins on the trot. Bayern destroy Hamburg for the 2nd time in 3 years. Wolfsburg edge Leverkusen in a 9-goal thriller. Schalke taste defeat for the first time in 2015. Lowly Freiburg grab 3 vital points against Hertha Berlin. And Paderborn win for the first time this year. So, Bayern retain their 8-point lead at the top, and Wolfsburg stay 8 points ahead of Gladbach. Goal difference keeps Schalke on a Champions League spot ahead of Augsburg. But Leverkusen drop to a Europa League placing. Bremen's great run catapults them into the top half of the table. At the foot of the table, Stuttgart still prop up the rest of the league. But only 2 points separate the 6 sides above them.
Dortmund, it seems, are improving at long last. Finally, on to the fixtures for matchday 22. On Friday, bottom club Stuttgart take on improving Dortmund. On Saturday, our cameras will be in Augsburg for the 5th versus 6th clash with Leverkusen. In Paderborn for the David versus Goliath encounter with mighty Bayern. And in Cologne, where Hanover are the visitors. The two Sunday games, which we'll also be televising, are Hamburg against Mönchengladbach and Wolfsburg versus Hertha Berlin. And that's just about it for today. Thanks for your company. Join us again soon. We leave you with the top scenes at matchday 21.
Arjen Robben with a quite spectacular third.
In. Oh, it's through, and it's an exquisite touch from Bas Dost. Oh, perfection from Dost.
So tall, and it's in the back of the net.
Oh, Thomas Muller.
Marco Reus goes round the goalkeeper and turns it in.
First touch is brilliant. Second touch is sublime. And Leverkusen are back in this game big time.